The Dismantle the Culture podcast focuses on unraveling the layers of rape culture in the attempt of ending it on a global scale. Rape culture is as intricately woven into societal teachings and practices as systemic racism. On Dismantle the Culture, we are not afraid to call any issue by its name. The podcast provides nuanced conversations rooted in facts and, at times, anecdotal experiences. This podcast is more than an educational tool. It is an instrument for advocacy for a better tomorrow for all. The topics discussed range from consent to toxic masculinity to surviving sexual violence. Follow the podcast today and help us dismantle the culture. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Holiloquy podcast, where we step out and talk about sexuality. This is your host, Vernon T. Scott, also known as Slaytor Jackson, also known as that nigga Sebastian Adams, all these fucking nicknames, and y'all barely even know me, but it's all good because life is good. I have my homie, my girl, my nigga, this motherfucker, Adrian, on the line. Well, not really on the line. She on this is a Zoom call, y'all. But anyways, the bitch is here.
Why you gotta spill our tea like that? Damn, let the mystery be there. They need to know. We could have been right next to each other.
We are spiritually. We're connected. So just in case, at least for those who did not see or listen to the last episode, this is the last time I'm going to ask my girl to introduce herself. By this point, you should just automatically know who she is. Adrian, can you tell the audience about you?
Like I said before, I'm just playing. For those of you who are new, welcome. Don't feel any shame. I'm Adrian, and I'm just me, like goofy, fun, dark, crazy, lots for days. Also, they say, just fucking up and learning from the mistakes, as well as creating beautiful moments and appreciating the human experience. That's what I'm all about. And I'm gonna laugh. If I can laugh, I will laugh.
Girl,
and that's it.
Laugh. Well, Adrian, I heard that you have a podcast that you're working on that is also TBD in terms of the release date.
Yeah, very big TBD, big, huge TBD. Yes, I have two that I'm working on. One called Choosing Violence, which is basically, as someone who has been through, I wouldn't say numerous, but several anger and violence seminars, I have learned that sometimes, even if you do everything right and you count to 10 and you imagine the balloon and you fucking woosah, sometimes the ass whooping is still necessary. So I want to look into that side of things. Like when all else has been done and attempted, let's choose violence. And then I have a second one that I like to call Homegirls. Basically just looking at friendships across, this day and age and time, while also kind of commentating on the state of the social interaction of our generation. So, it's not necessarily home girls only, the female versions of friendships. Friendships come in many shapes and sizes, colors, locations, etc. It's what you make it. So just want to delve into that, talk about what it's like to have friendships and things that go on in them. So yeah, those are my two babies, near and dear to my heart, working them out, getting the kicks out. But once we do launch, you already know, I'm going to have the lovely Dr. Scott on each one. And I'm legit because I had a fucking doctor on my podcast, bitch. I'm that girl.
I fucking hate you so much.
You're saying it wrong. It's love.
You're right. It is. It is love. Love. You know what? After that, I feel like somebody, probably someone white, is going to name their child Love. This is my child Lave in Apple. I'm sorry. I love white people sometimes. I love white people. I just don't like white people. There's a difference. So all my white people, love y'all. The white ones, fuck y'all. And that's what it is.
Reparations. If you watch the last episode, you will know what that means.
Ain't it? And that's what we need. You know, speaking of reparations, we're not going into the topic of today yet, but speaking of reparations, you know, there's because I was thinking about our last episode, and I know how there's probably going to be somebody who's like, is he misgendering Adrian and all this other stuff and not understand our history, or even your gender identity in that sense, or how you identify yourself? Because, you know, you're a nigga, you're also a woman, you're a man, you're a chick, you're a person, and I accept all of that. And when I was thinking about that and thinking about how a lot of people have outrage on things like that, I just started to think about how I personally just do not have any more time in my day to be upset about white outrage, because the stuff is foolish. Because I don't care about white outrage until white outrage is actually supporting Black causes. And that's it.
True.
And that's why I'm talking about reparations, people. Is needed. All right. So, preferences is what we're supposed to be talking about on this episode. Oh, they got me fired up. I'm not drunk, y'all, yet. So, Adrian.
Well, I am high as shit, you guys.
As you should be.
That's going to be my thing, Dr. Scott. Every time you have me on, I'm going to be high.
I'm here for it. Look, sometimes you need to get high. If I did not go slightly into psychosis every time I smoke and drink, I'll probably be with you. Like, legit.
Well, you are the good doctor, so, you know, you have to keep your wits about you.
Facts. Fuck these hoes. I'm joking. Somebody's gonna hear that like, did he just call me a hoe? Probably.
I mean, technically, every member of the podcast that is what listens to soliloquy hoes.
Right? Like, you have to accept being a hoe if you're going to listen to soliloquy. Like, hoe is in the name. Mm-hmm. But we support all individuals who are not hoes. It's okay. It's a growth process. And if you actually purchase the essential guide on how to be a hoe, you'll understand that it's actually a very positive thing. So I love all you hoes. Now, about preferences. How many times am I going to have to introduce that? Okay. Anyways, about preferences. What were your preferences? What are your preferences? And like when it comes to relationships, and what were some of your deal breakers?
So it's hard to completely go into that because it was like a metamorphosis, if you will. Ooh. Like the older I got, the more living I did, the more I realized, oh, I'm not really into that anymore, or I like this. This is essential, or I don't even want to get into it without this. So as it stands now, like my preferences are women of color, not necessarily Black women, but just women of color. Sorry, my snow princesses, my Aryan queens. I ain't checking for y'all. Not to say that y'all don't have a chance. It's just you and anything else. I'm looking at anything else. But again, do not try to drag me off beat in the comments. All I'm saying is it's my preference for women of color. Now, there are queens with flavor. Matter of fact, I work actually directly, well, not directly under, but I work under a seasoned Aryan goddess, whose name I will not release, because on the off chance that she is down with the cause and listens to this podcast, she gonna be looking at me real weird next time we're in the office. But she is cool as fuck. Now, her vibe and personality, definitely in another life, if she was on my wave, would I get with her? Of course. But, you know, we live in here and now, as my brother Luther says, and we're going to stay right there. But all I'm saying is, I prefer women of color. I do like niggas, but I like a specific kind of nigga. As you can see, I'm a masculine presenting woman. If I am harder than you, i.e., the car breaks down and you looking at me like, what we gonna do, babe? Like, nah, I'm good on that. Like, I like to be dominant with my women, but I will submit to a nigga that earns it, if that makes sense.
Ooh, I like the fact that you put earn it. Like, ooh.
Gotta earn
Hello. That means you got to put in some work on that one. Yes, Lord. I'm here for it.
it.
But
So, yeah, that's
I,
pretty much.
I want to piggyback on something that you said because you had to, because I see this a lot and I know I understand why a lot of people have to combat or even defend their right to have a preference for somebody. Most definitely if it's like a person of color. I definitely understand that. And like for me, like even in the book I mentioned this, like for me, preferences is things that you can change with is something that you even said that if the opportunity came up, you would be open to someone that is the Aryan queens out here. But it's like a lot of people mistake preference from something that they consider a deal breaker or a discriminating factor. Like when I think of preferences, it's like ice creams. I prefer vanilla. Actually, the one I truly prefer is butter pecan ice cream or butter pecan. That's a preference too. Pecan. It doesn't fucking matter. But you know, if you bring me chocolate ice cream and I'm feeling chocolate that day, I'm going to eat the chocolate ice cream. That is what preferences are. Now, for me, I prefer women and men of color. And when it comes to now, we're not going into that, but we're about to go into sexual organs. But anyways,
I love those organs.
That would be another conversation. You better subscribe so you make sure that you hear that one. Now, when it comes to shameless plug, but when it comes to like dating or being casually intimate with someone outside of my race, I am still open to that. But I also know my ancestors just be hitting me in the back of the head like, nigga, you don't want that. You know you're not going to be in a relationship with that person because for one, I know I cannot be in a relationship with somebody where I cannot happily use the word nigga on a daily basis. So
wow.
Like I'm just being real. Like I can't have you as my life partner if I have to police my language on a regular basis. I just can't do that. And I lived a life where I didn't use any kind of like a lot of people might not believe this, but I didn't use a curse at all. I barely even used the word nigga before like age 18. And then, you know, metamorphosis. So became a whole new nigga. And yeah, girl, that balloon loves you.
I cannot I keep trying to play it off and low-key
It's
get
in
rid
your
of it.
hair. The balloon is in your hair. That is what you call
oh. See, that makes sense. I am free.
I'm sorry it's not a video podcast, y'all, but that was beautiful.
I'm glad it's not a video podcast. They'll be like, "Fuck, this is slow as hell."
Yeah, I'm not a real friend because I've been looking at that damn balloon for the last 5 minutes.
I've been trying to figure out why you've been laughing. And I think it's that. Like, you just be seeing me wrestle with the balloon, trying to look professional. Yeah, and you just be getting your life. She was really I finally caught it.
She was trying to play it off so well.
Like, it was not working.
Oh my God. Okay. Composure. I'm okay. I promise. I'm about to cry. Okay. Now that we talked about preferences, do you have any specific deal breakers?
Yes. So when it comes to like age range, I typically have a ±2 rule, meaning I don't date anyone outside of the range of 2 years older than me or 2 years younger than me. Because I find anything over 2 years just leads to mess. So that is deal breaker, but that's kind of a flexible deal because if the vibes are there, the attraction is there, the connection is there, like I will amend that rule, not by much, especially if you're younger than me. Almost never will happen. But if you're older than me, yeah, definitely. I can review that and see if we can make an arrangement, if you will. Other deal breakers, fucking someone and not telling me, i.e., like I necessarily don't require a closed relationship, even though that's all that I've been, I guess, consensually in. But like ideally, like something open would be low key lit at some point. Trying to figure that out with they. We're at a stalemate right now, so we ain't even gonna bring that up. But I said all that to say that if we got some open and we set the terms of the arrangement and you violate those terms in any way, like instant deal breaker. There is no I made a mistake. There is no I didn't know. There is no excuse. Like that's it. Because I'm simple. I'm easygoing. I'm not going to be someone in which you should have to hide the truth. And if you start to move that way, I can't trust you. And there's not some level of trust in our goings and comings and dealings with one another. I really don't want no parts of it. Just honestly to protect my peace and who I am. So that's pretty much it. Oh, and hate speech.
The Holiloquy podcast focuses on the variability of sexual expression. When it comes to sexual expression, we often depend on pornography to illustrate how one must perform sexually. For those who have not learned this by now, the stuff you see in porn is not real. Pornography provides a singular perspective of sexual expression that is not often the reality we see during our own sexual encounters. The Holiloquy podcast is a conversation that takes you outside of the compressed box of what many know about sex. Some of the topics we discuss includes kinks, condom usage, status disclosure, and past sexual experiences. The Holiloquy podcast steps out on sexual norms and recognizes that the norm is not the only normal. Subscribe today and join the conversation.
Oh, and hate speech. Like if you out here using all kind of fucking racially charged words, like no matter if it's my race or not, like you calling Asian people chinks and shit like that, nah, bro, because I'm good on that. I don't appreciate that. I have friends from all walks of life, all backgrounds, nationalities, etc. Like all the many are one to me. So if you're going to disrespect any of my friends or their friends or their friends for the way they are, something that they cannot control, fuck out of here with that shit. Like get out of here, bro. Like nah, I'm not gonna tolerate it. And abuse. If you lay hands, know that I would lay mine back.
I am with you with all of that. It's most definitely the hate speech one. Like, like I have a friend who, from my perspective, does not know his own worth, and also from my perspective, hate himself. And he allows his ex-boyfriend, or they might still be talking. I don't know what their relationship is, but he allows him to call him the N-word with the hard ER, and I'm like, sir. What kind of relationship is that? Because this is a guy who is from Saudi Arabia, I believe, and I'm like, do you not realize that the perspective of what Black Americans are in the cultural context of his country, and him to be using that, even though he was born here and he's familiar with the treatment of Black people in this country, and you still allow him to call you that and you think it's okay? Like, sir, that is not okay. That he is literally disrespecting you in your face, and you just allow that to happen. Like, that's something that I personally cannot do. I don't want to be in a relationship with someone who does that for my race as well, like you said, other races, because I don't want to be surrounded by hatred like that on a regular basis. And that includes Black people, because Black people do fall in some of the categories of using hate speech, most definitely when it comes to within the gay community, or even like most definitely when it comes to the gay community, because Black people can throw the F-bomb real quick, and I'm not talking about fuck. And it's like, even if I end up with a man, I don't want to hear that every single day. Like, yeah, before I even knew what my sexuality was, I was called that. Just because I had a light sounding voice as a child with a light sounding voice. That's every fucking child. So it's like, like just that in itself is like, I don't want to have that hatred around me on an ongoing basis. I just don't need it. On top of that, like you said, abuse is, I don't believe in putting my hands on any person, most definitely within a relationship. Now, if you're trying to throw hands because you got some problem with me, we can throw those hands. But if we're in a relationship, I would rather have discussion and talk about what's going on rather than going straight to fist, because why? That does nothing but harm the relationship. Now, cheating. I was willing to forgive cheating at one point. I've done it before. I don't think I am willing to give that forgiveness in a future relationship. Mostly because from the past relationship, I felt as though I was literally just taken advantage of in that sense. Because I'm such a forgiving person. But there's a point where you have to, well, at least for myself, I had to just accept that I truly have to know my worth in this moment. Is it worth forgiving this person within that relationship? And like literally play those the pros and cons on that. And I think my last deal breaker, I have to say, not being willing to explore yourself sexually. I can't do that because I like to do shit. I cannot be with someone that's vanilla all my life because I will get bored. And I'm going to ask, like, not being able to explore sexualities or not being willing to explore our sexualities with other people. I could be with somebody vanilla, but if I'm going to be with you, you have to realize that I'm going to want to explore my sexuality, or at least the full extent of my sexuality, with other people, because what are you bringing to the table to fulfill me fully? So there's that. So just thinking about your upbringing or just overall development, how did your preferences develop?
I would say the ones that I have now developed just by trial and error, honestly. Realizing that, in these certain relationships, this is always the end result. So to prevent that, we're going to do this and not that, et cetera, et cetera. I guess the idea of like the curiosity or openness to an open relationship came from watching so many intentionally monogamous relationships fail via cheating. It's like, okay, if all of y'all are going to cheat, why not just open it up then? So there is no cheating. If you cannot be satisfied by one person and you're okay with them finding others to be satisfied by, as long as you also can go find others to be satisfied by, what's wrong with that? Like, everybody wins. That's okay. What's up if society's not into it? Oh, fucking well. Are you fucking society? Or are you fucking these motherfuckers? Like,
thank you.
If your partner's into it, fuck what the world thinks. Like, dead ass.
Like, I think that's an issue with a lot of people. They're so focused on what other people will think about their relationship rather than what the individuals within their relationship is thinking about it. Because, like, why? It's like, take the concept of eating ass, right? When Jhené Aiko came out and she was like, eat blue like groceries and shit. I forgot who else was in that song. Was it Drake?
Omarion.
Oh, it was Omarion. Oh, that shows how. Oh, it was a long time ago. But damn, he was in that song. Wow. Now, like, when that came out, you have a section of society that's like, okay, yeah, I eat ass and everything like that. But then you have the ones like, ew, why are you eating ass? And I'm like, why are we talking about eating ass? Like, why are we judging people who do it? And why are we trying to make it shameful for somebody to express their sexual interests with their partner? Like, why? Like, have you ever like experienced something within your relationships or where someone literally let society decide how they move forward in the relationship?
Oh yeah, I like straight girls, so that happens all the time.
I'm done.
They behind closed doors. They all about what I bring into the table. They want to please me. They want to be pleased by me. But once someone finds out what their dirty little secret is, now they're embarrassed. Now they're ashamed. Now they're afraid of eternal damnation. You know, I've heard every not excuse, but like a lot of shit. Like I don't know. I do like lesbians as well, but like that fire, that desire, that drive, like that different kind of thing comes from fucking with a straight woman, like, or what, someone who believes themselves to be straight. I'm not saying it on no predatory shit. Again, you bitches in the comments, all right? If you decide that you want to see what I'm about, I'm gonna show you what I'm about. And if you find yourself not being able to see or think straight because of what you've experienced, who am I to keep that from you? Who am I to withhold that? Are you completely straight anymore? Probably not. But I mean, shit, I got it to give. Come get it.
Like low key, I can't even, like, straight women, I feel bad for you all on a regular basis. The reason why is because the last statistic that I read said that 60% of women involved in heterosexual relationships, or was it 60% of women in general, have experienced an orgasm? Either one of those, but we all gone to grade school and we all recognize that 60 is a failing grade. So heterosexuality, you're failing right now. Like, what the fuck?
Like, all I know is I come every time I fuck.
Ooh.
Whatever sexuality that is, that's what I am.
Like, get the pleasure that you deserve in your life, for one. And this is not to shame the women who are heterosexual women. This is to shame the men who are not pleasing the heterosexual woman. Step your fucking game up, or else your woman's going to be on my table.
Or mine.
This boat swings, motherfucker. Just to let you know. But like, I just don't see how it's been so long for a lot of women to not have experienced pleasure within their sexual relationships. And I think a lot of it deals with, religion, and also being in a very sexual oppressed culture here in America. But at the same time, it's saddening. Like, I hate that for y'all. I really do. And then there's also the men out here, because 30% of men faked an orgasm. So there's that. But
can dudes fake that? Like, I thought it was,
girl, I faked it.
Okay.
I'll be honest. Like, the majority, I'm a huge part of that 30%. I'm not even gonna lie, because I've experienced a lot of mediocre shit out here. And it's like, if I had to count the pleasurable sex that I've had, like, you got me to where I needed to get to, I could at least count that on one hand. Like, when I say I need people to step their game up, I need them to step their game up. That's why I have high standards for who I date. If you cannot please me sexually, you're not worthy of being in my presence for the rest of my life. Jesus. Like, low key, my ex was one of those people that could actually get me to that point. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. But these other mofos that I just randomly hook up with every now and again, no. It's like, you're here, you scratch an itch. The itch was scratched, but that's it. I'm trying to get, that inner ear feeling when you start cleaning out your ear. I need that. I'm not getting that. Clean out the motherfucker's ear like that.
Okay.
Let the stone start shaking. Let an earthquake happen. Lord, yes.
Damn. All right. I want that for you.
I want it for myself too. Y'all, it's sad, because low key, I used to coach a lot of people after sex. It's like, okay, this is where you can improve to make it better for me next time. Because if you're trying to audition to be a regular, you have to be open for coaching, so that I can make sure that both of us are enjoying this and not just you. Because I change lives. You're not.
Okay.
Like you do.
Hey, I only got one brother. I'm going to advertise it as best I can, but shit, either in or you're out. You either see God or you never left. I'm okay with that.
Look, I want everyone listening to the podcast to look up As Yet Last Night. That's a song. That's the shit that I want to be on. Okay. Play it. You will understand.
Oh, who's it by?
Oh, it's the group is As Yet. AZYET. 2 words.
Okay. Last Night.
I need to add that to my sex playlist.
For sure.
You know, this is completely off topic, but you smoke. So
yes,
what you need to do, because I learned this because, well, I had the thought of doing this and I actually did do it and it was phenomenal. And it's, you know, it's all about smoking weed and listening to music. But what you need to do is when you get to that level where you just know you're high, play Anita Baker's Whatever It Takes. That shit is going to take you some places.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, do you want to hear a non-sexual story? But it's very
sure,
and it deals with weed.
Okay.
So back when I was in Nashville, I had this edible, right? And I didn't even know the person I bought it from. I was just happy that there was a motherfucker in Nashville that had edibles. So I was like, let's go. So I had one of those motherfuckers, right? And I'm thinking this is going to be like every other edible I have. It takes about an hour or so to kick in. Life is good. Nah, bitch. It took 30 minutes. I was already feeling that shit. I turned off my TV, start playing some music, and I had my relaxation playlist playing, which has a lot of Anita Baker on there. And then I get to Janet Jackson's Funny How Time Flies. Girl, tell me why I'm laying in bed, having a whole ass full body orgasm, not even touching myself.
Whoa, what?
From listening to this fucking song.
God damn. Wow.
I don't know what the fuck was in that edible, but that edible hit the right shit that night.
That experience is not uncommon. Shit, every time I smoke weed, honestly, I get horny as shit. Like, for instance, hopefully it's not TMI, it probably is, but last night, you know, Sundays are me and Bay's time to, you know, spend time with one another, self-care and all of that. So we are both stoners. So what we like to do is like to smoke together and just see how the day takes us. So we ended up, you know, we probably smoked probably like at least 5 blunts yesterday. And so we kept having to do stuff like, you know, go here, go there. It was her niece's birthday dinner. We had to go there, run some errands, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like midnight. We're laying down for bed, getting ready to go to bed. And all out of nowhere, we cuddling. And then my girl, you know, we smoke our bedtime blunt and say our goodnights, whatever. Next thing I know, I'm cuddling Betty. She backing her ass up into me and grinding on niggas. So I'm just like, am I imagining this? Or is this really happening? And then I move back so she can't reach me. She scoots over more. I'm like, oh no, that's what I thought it was. Shit finna get real. That's cool. And you know, bam, bam, boom, we fucking till 2 a.m. Like,
yes, Lord.
Weed is definitely better than Viagra. It's from the earth.
I don't like. I get why Viagra is such a big thing because actually, if you out here and you're young, and I'm talking like younger than 50 years old, do not use Viagra. Let your doctor let you know when it's that time to use Viagra. Because you know, working in higher ed and working in housing and doing, you know, the occasional room check with my staff, there were some students I came across and I'm like, sir, you are a college student. Why the fuck do you have Viagra? And I know that some people do it so that they can have sex like a porn star, but porn isn't real. Like, sir.
There's so many takes, breaks. That shit take days to shoot. It's not a 1 hour session.
Bro, not at all. If you really want to last a long time with your partner, learn foreplay. Foreplay is not the before. Foreplay is something that is going on throughout your sexual experience with your partner. That's how you make it enjoyable. That's how you fuck your partner better than a porn star ever would.
Mm-hmm.
Learn that, young men, learn that, young ladies, learn that, young gender non-conforming individuals. You do not need Viagra at a young age unless a doctor prescribes it. Like, don't harm your body just trying to be a porn star for no real reason. And like Adrian said, you can also use weed, but also do that responsibly. Now, this is not to advocate, using drugs for sex or even alcohol for sex. That's a complete different conversation when it comes to consent and whatnot, which I plan on doing an episode on. But be responsible, people. Consent does matter, but also be responsible. And also be responsible. Now, I think this is a good time to switch on over to a little bit of Never Have I Ever. So let me get my little fucking cards.
My little fucking card.
All right. Okay. Ooh, spread this out. Oh, yes. Spread it. Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, Vernon, I forgot to tell you. So remember how the last time we met about, working out the details for the episode. And I told you how Babe was like, where she's trying to ease me into the BDSM life.
Mm-hmm.
We have got a definite go. We are going to begin this weekend.
Yes. Did you take the test?
I did not take the test. My phone was tripping. I ended up having to go to Apple and get a brand new one. So can you send it to me again?
I got you. I definitely send that over to you. And remember, you need it. A lot of people don't know this, so this is a perfect time to plug it. We are doing an episode on kinks, so be on the lookout. And Adrian's homework for that episode is to do this fucking test. And now, since she's doing something this weekend, that's a little bit more that we could fucking talk about. And I cannot wait. Yes. Y'all, look, I'm probably going to air that meeting that she's talking about as a bonus episode. So y'all can at least hear. Because I literally was educating her on BDSM to make her a little bit comfortable getting to that point. So, yeah. If you have any
I was at a hell no before I talked to the doctor.
If you have any questions about BDSM, feel free to comment on wherever you listen to this from. I probably might not get it. Actually, just find us our YouTube channel. It's Slaytor's Playhouse. You will be able to find it there. I will have this video posted on there. So feel free to comment on there, whatever questions you have about BDSM, and I will do my best to make sure that Adrian and I speak on that during our episode. And if not, I do have other guests that we'll be talking about kinks about. So there will be multiple opportunities for us to have that conversation. I got this damn card in my hand. I almost forgot. Oh, this is tea. Never have I ever broken up with someone for their friend.
I mean, I don't think they was actually friends.
What you mean?
No, I'm gonna go no. I have not done it.
See, that sounds so sketchy. I need to understand, what was this relationship?
I mean, it was, the situation with Tara and Joanna. They were teammates. I would say friends.
I'm done. I can say no, I have not. Am I willing to sleep with ex's friend? Probably do it. But I've never ended like a sexual relationship or a dating relationship with somebody just to go for their friends, because typically if I chose you to be in a relationship with me, I'm not trying to look for other people. Most definitely ones that you call your friends. And I'm not like, I don't even think I can even have a threesome with the person and their homies. I just can't. I cannot. I'm not trying to do that, because next time everybody meets up for dinner, I'm just gonna be like, oh, I have my dick in your mouth.
I think I could do that for that purpose, but I could not have a threesome with somebody I cared for with their friends. So, like, for instance, me and Bae. She's not, no threesome, never. Like, Benita, no, not on the table. Not even a little bit, like straight caveman. Like, but like, shit, for instance, some other bitch I fucked, yeah, probably. Like, I would hit her with a homeboy or something like that. Like, I wouldn't even really have no pressure behind it. Because it's like, that ain't mine. And it's fun. So yeah. I would revel in the fact of like we're at dinner later and I'm like, I know what your cum tastes like. Like I like that shit. I might be looking at you while you eating, like, yeah, go on, gobble that soup up like you gobble me, mama. Like flashbacks.
Low-key, when you put it that way, I probably could do it because I've had sex with a friend before. So it's like, I don't know. It's like a friend of a friend.
Okay.
I don't know. I probably might. The bone too strong. I probably might. I have to think on that one.
Can't fuck my friends anymore. It got too weird. I tend to attract people that attach easily. So once we have that moment, now they swear up and down with their words. I understand that's just what it is, but their actions, they moving like they belong to me, and that's not the case. Ooh. So friends are off limits. No more fucking friends. I fucked enough of my friends.
But we never fucked.
I mean, we don't have to be friends.
I cannot with you. This is why I love Adrian. So
I've had you on my list, doctor.
Cannot.
No, nothing get me more excited than fucking prefixes.
Oh
when
yeah.
you fill out paperwork, you put DR.
So I heard you got that doctorate. Is that Dick the doctor too? What's up?
You got a DR, but do you got an MD too, Daddy? I want to know.
I want to know.
Can you prescribe psychiatric drugs? Nah, for real. Can you though? Like for real. Let's be cool.
Not that doctor. Would you like another?
Always. Who could say no to you, Slaytor?
Oh. You got me feeling myself. All right. Never have I ever lied to someone about how good they were in bed. Not she choking.
Yeah, I have done that several times. One time, well, a few times out of just survival, i.e., like I done got caught cheating, and you know it's the makeup portion of the relationship, and it's like, who's better, me or her? Baby, it's you. I don't even think about it. I don't know. I was tripping. Ain't never felt that good before. I think the cheating made us closer.
Oh, God.
In all actuality, they're about the same, which is why I pair them that way. Depending on who is freakier on what day, y'all are the same level of fucking. Or in the worst case, the one I kept was worse. The best one got away.
I will have to say I've lied. And I can't say it was for survival, but it was mostly just to get the motherfucker out of my apartment. I was like, oh yeah, it was real good. Yes. And that's what, if I'm like that, that means I'm not going to message you ever again. I might even block you because it was that disappointing. I'm going to wait until I know that you are safely home before I block you, because you know people want to, okay, I want to know, make sure if it was all good. Let me check my okay, they're still there. They haven't blocked me yet. 2 days later, you will never see my my profile again.
Damn. Look, not the delayed block.
Like
sneaky block.
I haven't had to do that often, but I've done that to a few people. But I think within the last 5 years, I just became more honest with people and just like, you know, it was decent. It wasn't a wow factor for me, but you know, it is what it is. And then after they get that truth, that's when they come back with well, the season you wasn't that good. Okay. Sure. You wouldn't have been begging to come back later if I was, but okay. But that's another story for another day.
Right.
Would you like a sex question?
Now, come on. Would I like a sex question? Duh! Give it to me.
This goes back in the day. I don't think people are actually able to do this now, but have you ever placed a personal ad? If yes, what did it say? If not, how would your hypothetical ad read?
So I've never done that, But the fuck? Ooh, I'm high. Edit that out.
I'm not.
Okay. So my personal ad would read, oh shit. Are you tired of the same old shit? Try something new. Try something young. Try something nasty. Try something Asian.
Ooh.
Hi, I'm Adrian. I want to do some new, young, nasty shit with you. If you like what you see, press 5.
5.
Taxes and fees apply.
Low-key, I have to admit, I have. I've done that before. This was back in the Craigslist days, and these apps weren't really hitting like they.
Was it Craigslist dangerous? Are you a survivor? Craigslist was wild. They was killing old people trying to buy Oldsmobiles.
Girl, yes, Craigslist was hella dangerous. And so, like, for me, I'm so happy I had a car because one, I was not inviting people to my space, my space, but I was not inviting people into my space, and I will always I will Google where they lived, or where I was going to pick them up from, or all that. I would never park anywhere and wait for somebody to come visit me or anything like that. No, nigga will always be driving his car and on the go. If I see you outside, okay, possibly. I need a number. I need a face picture. I need. I had a checklist before I even met up with anybody off the fucking Craigslist because I'm trying to live.
I hear that.
Because I have all the information. I'll make sure everything is sent through email to track all the responses, at least most definitely on my end. So if I do end up going missing, I have that hardcore evidence of where I was. Right. This is the person. I used to create personal files on people before I even met up with them. But so yeah, I definitely had a little Craigslist ad. Probably had a little ad shot on there just saying, okay, look, I'm looking for this, looking for a hookup, and go from there. It wasn't I mentioned my weight, my height, my interest, race, of course, and what I'm not interested in. And I even say, if you can't send a face picture, you might as well not reply and just keep it like that. And then apps got a little bit better. So,
okay.
Child, it was dangerous back in those days.
I believe it.
But I was not trying to get caught up. So, Adrian, it is that time that we say goodbye. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Not to cry.
But thank you so much for being on the podcast today. I appreciate you. I love you so much. Also, to the listeners, thank y'all so much for joining us here at the Soliloquy Podcast, where we step out and talk about sexuality. You all are loved, you're appreciated, and I love you all so, so fucking much. Bye.
Love you too, Doc.
Thank you for listening to the Soliloquy Podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. You can subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting app and find us on the web at www.soliloquy.com. That's www.heauxliloquy.com. Share the podcast with your friends and join the conversation.